Now ready? Welcome to this event. My name is Kimball Long. I am the publisher of the El Dorado Springs Sun newspaper, just right up the street there, but this is not a newspaper event. This is actually put on by the Spring City Revitalization Group. We're about a 5-year-old group responsible for all these new sidewalks and the new lights, but not the huge, enormous, decorative pedestrian signs that hide everything. We're going to be working on that. Anyway, we invited Ms. Vicky Hartzler and Greg Cowan. We also invited Ike Skelton, who declined, and I tried to get a hold of the Libertarian candidate, and I was unsuccessful. I did not deliberately exclude him. He didn't call me back, or I would have at least invited him to come. The format is we will give Mr. Cowan and Ms. Hartzler each about 10 minutes, up to 10 minutes, to present their views, and then we will just take questions from the audience, either directed to one or both of them. Is that acceptable to both of you? And we have chairs here. Do you want chairs? We do not have a podium or a microphone because I think you can hear them. And Mr. Burris, Bob Burris, who has a watch. Will you be my timekeeper?
I will.
I gotta go over this place. And we're going alphabetical order, if you don't mind. So, calendar up.
Okay.
10 minutes.
You don't mind if I sit and give my speech? I like to write things down and keep things on a clipboard. I was taught that you're more efficient and to do that. So, I'm Greg Cowan. I was born and raised in Missouri. I'm married with one son. I live near Lebanon. In 1981, as a background on myself, I enlisted in the United States Navy. In 2004, I retired as a lieutenant commander. I came up through the ranks, went in as an E1, retired as an 04. I know how to get things done in really big organizations. What they do in Congress, you and I can do. It's nothing more than negotiations and talking and getting things done. They would like us to believe that sometimes it's very difficult to do what they do, but it's not. We could do the same thing. So why run? Because I believe it's time to fire them all. They've really put our country in a hole. I'm running because you and I and our children deserve better than what they gave us. They created an elite political class of two parties that seem to rule over us instead of govern in accordance with the Constitution. They borrow billions from communist countries and call it free trade or stimulus. They pass legislation that send our jobs out of the country and call it global economics. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to think about the United States of America, where we were 40 years ago. I was 9 years old. I used to stand in my backyard and look up at the stars and say, one day I'm going to go there. Neil Armstrong went there. Today, after the shuttles retire, we will not be able to put a man in space because of the leadership of the two political parties in this country. We're going to hire the Russians and anybody who's fought in the Cold War and every other war that America's been in the last 40 years. That's an insult. We're going to hire the Russians to put our astronauts in space. We seem unable and unwilling to control flooding in this country. Remember when we dug ditches and drained water, made the land productive? Now we let our farmlands flood, our cities flood, Nashville floods, Missouri floods, Wisconsin, Minnesota. Every other state in the union seems to have a problem with rainwater because of what we've done to ourselves for the last 40 years. Just this past summer, it took us 3 months to cap an oil leak. The greatest industrialized nation on earth takes us 3 months to cap an oil leak. Nearly 5 months to seal it completely. We have oil in shallow water. Why are we drilling in 5,000 feet of water anyway? We have oil in shallow water in Alaska, in the lower 48. We have oil practically anywhere you want to sink a well. You can find oil. But the past Congresses and the past presidents have blocked that. They've not allowed America to be energy independent. They won't or can't secure our borders. I heard the president say it's just too big. We must secure our borders. Our government has literally, in our lifetimes, given thousands of acres of land to Mexican drug lords and posted signs that say, don't go there because we can't protect you anymore. Remember when there were factories in the 4th District that employed hundreds of people, provided jobs, incomes? Those factories are gone now, victims of free trade economics and globalism. And during everything that I just listed, there were two parties in charge of our country, leading our country. Today, these professional politicians would have you believe that they're reformed, transformed, and they've found their constitutions and finally read them. They want us to believe that somehow they're going to create jobs where none exist. Government doesn't create jobs. Government creates an environment where businesses stay and grow, or they create an environment where businesses close and go. Over the last 40 years, our government created the environment that caused thousands of businesses to close and go. Somehow, the professional politicians want us to believe that they're going to jumpstart the remaining businesses to provide employment. Jumpstart means bailout. They want you and I to believe they're going to secure the borders before they give amnesty to 12 to 20 illegals. I don't buy it.